The following is a program of the Santa Barbara County Education Office. To learn more, visit sbceo.org.
Hello, I'm Susan Salcido, Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Innovations in Education. Let's take a look at what's coming up. First, we'll visit the sports medicine program at a local high school. Then, we'll take you to Santa Maria to visit a very special museum. Career technical education is an important part of college and career readiness. Let's meet Todd Garrett, who teaches sports medicine courses at Dos Pueblos High School in the Santa Barbara Unified School District.
My name is Todd Garrett. I'm the lead of the sports medicine pathway, which consists of medical biology, kinesiology, and sports medicine, and I teach the kinesiology and sports medicine classes. We're going to start with our origin and insertion chart. You'll see we only have 4 new muscles for the knee, because the other ones that we did of the hip also cross the knee, but we don't need to relearn those. Our famous Mike Lynch teaches medical biology. It's biology with a medical twist to it, and that's our intro class. And then our second class is kinesiology, and in this particular case, in kinesiology, I teach a lot of the muscular and skeletal systems. So we go through the entire body, learn all the muscles, bones, joints, and a lot of the biomechanics of those, and the kinesiology of those and how they move, and how the joints actually function to propel us and to move us around. Like we did when we did the hamstring muscles and the muscles of the hip, you do not need to make these very bulky. Nice flat muscles. Don't forget to put the striations in. Use your origin and insertion chart to mark the origin and the insertion, and then you're going to build the muscle to follow.
Well, it teaches us like basic human anatomy. As an athlete, I think it's important to know like your body. I get hurt a lot, so it's kind of nice to know sometimes if like a muscle or a joint's hurting, to kind of know what's going on, and I don't have to, go to the doctor or whatever, to at least know what's hurting.
I added this class just because I wanted to learn a little bit more about the body and learn about how the muscles work.
Right now we're making a clay model of all of the muscles that are on our body.
We started up at the neck. We learned the muscles of the neck, and then we've slowly been working our way down through the body. So we went neck, and then shoulder, arm, and now we just did hip, and now we're on the knee. In each chapter we learn about the origins and insertions of all the muscles, and what muscles are the main movers of flexion, extension. We learn the planes of movement and the axes, and there's a lot to learn, but Mr. Garrett teaches it well.
Right now we're learning about the knee, and so previously, we've learned about our hip joints, our elbow joints, and then just the basic bone structure.
6 or 7 years ago, the Regional Occupational Programs Department here in Santa Barbara came to me, and because of my background in kinesiology from Westmont College, they asked if I would be interested in teaching a sports medicine class, and I said yes. And then from there we created the kinesiology class, and with the career technical education pathways being developed recently, we added the medical biology to create a full sports medicine pathway.
I took the class because I want to enter into the medical field once I'm done with high school, and I thought this would be a really good introduction course to make myself familiar with the human body and see if the medical field is a possibility that I actually would like in the future.
I'm looking into something in the field of biology, and so this is probably a pretty relevant class for that if I want to go into sports med or something that involves the body. Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool to be a physical therapist of some kind. So that's another reason I wanted to take this class. And this is like the gateway class into sports medicine, which I'm really interested in. So this class kind of helps you learn about the basics about your body.
Sports medicine is our capstone class, and the students learn more of the medical side. So in that class we talk about emergency medicine, we teach them how to put people on backboards, we teach CPR, we do car extractions.
And I have the backboard, which is supposed to go behind her to stabilize her like back and her spine. So lean her forward, 1, 2, 3. And then I like scoot this in.
So today I'm going to be taping an ankle. And first we start off with pre-wrap. And then you kind of want to start above the ankle and work your way down.
So the patient's going to be on the ground. We're going to have one personnel contact, make contact, visual contact and physical contact, making sure everything's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be stabilizing his C-spine. So I'll be holding the head and making sure that it'll be immobilized before we put him on the backboard.
Today we're going to be stretching the shoulder. So first you kind of want to bring the arm back like this with the elbow at 90 degrees. And tell me when to stop. Stop. And you have to make sure to ask when to stop so you're not going too far and causing pain. You just want it to be a light stretch rather than a painful stretch.
Usually they sprain their ankle or they're just complaining about like their ankle hurting, and this just helps their ankle be stabilized.
The coolest thing I think about what I teach is that I teach the human body. And there's not a student who comes into my class that doesn't have a human body and doesn't take the human body with them for the rest of their life. So, in sports medicine, we cover a lot of nutrition. Like I said, emergency medicine, CPR, all personal training, how do you work out with weights properly, what does cardiovascular exercise do for your body, fad diets versus the healthy eating lifestyle. All those things are obviously something they're going to need and want and use the rest of their lives. So even if they don't pursue a career in the sports medicine fields, they're going to be able to take that information and hopefully live a healthy and active life.
I tore my ACL last year, and this class kind of helped me learn a lot about like what tendons and ligaments are in there and stuff.
I'm taking this class because I'm interested in this field, so I wanted to get a feel of how my career in the future would be, and this class really helps a lot.
In the future, I might be working in the medicine field, so having a class like this, it kind of gets me toward that goal and reaching that. So choosing this class was a great option, and I like it a lot.
Well, I took this class because I took kinesiology last year, and I've kind of always been interested in like the human body and the movements and stuff. And I used to play softball, but I kept getting injured, so I spent a lot of time at physical therapy and in the training room that we have here, and I kind of like really into what they were doing, and I always wanted to learn, so I would always ask questions and learn what they were doing and try to learn from them. And then so I was like, why not? And I want to become an athletic trainer, so it's kind of like the beginning steps to that.
After high school, I would like to learn chiropractics.
I would like to become like a physical therapist or something.
Some of the new equipment that we've received, I got a stretching rack. You can see on the back there, it tells them how to stretch. So one of the things we do is when we learn, let's say the bicep or the tricep, we learn how to strengthen it. We also need to learn how to stretch it. And so I can have them come up and I can have them show me how do you stretch your bicep, how do you stretch your tricep, how do you stretch your biceps femoris, etc. Here you might see these in a lot of physical therapy clinics. They have a little bouncy ball, and you can throw the ball and people catch it, and you can do some rehab that way. It's called a rebounder. We've got, of course, our bouncy balls that you can sit on, do sit-ups, sit. Sometimes I sit with this at my desk instead of my desk chair, so I have good posture. Our foam rollers, medicine balls, our jumping blocks. See, we've got weights so we can demonstrate. It's very hard to demonstrate sometimes eccentric contractions and things like that with just pretending you have a weight in your hand because your muscle doesn't react correctly. So when you actually put a weight in your hand, you can feel what's really supposed to be happening with the body, and it's a much better learning experience. The sports medicine class also comes with a community classroom component, which is the students get credit for going out into the community, and they do observation hours at some places of their choice. Physical therapy clinics, chiropractic clinics, gyms, the hospital, and they get exposed to those careers hands-on. And it's much easier for them as a high school student to get their foot in the door and go do some observation than it is maybe in college or even after college. And the very cool thing about that is several students end up maybe with summer jobs from these observations that they do.
As part of the sports medicine class, we do a community classroom portion, and this year I did a Special Olympics volleyball team and helped out coach with a few other students in the class.
I intern at the training room, which is over by Cacique Street and Cabrillo Boulevard, Santa Barbara. I'm an intern there. I help the people, the employees who work over there, learning how to do working different equipment and working with the patients as well.
My community classroom is like, I basically just go to the gym and like observe the trainers and like talk to them about like what they do, stuff like that. It's just like a good learning experience.
Well, I work with Wendy here at the school, and whenever an athlete comes in, we help them with whatever they need, whether it be iced, stretched, wrists taped, ankles taped.
I'm on varsity lacrosse this year for DP, and I help out with the coach and to run practices, do drills, do stretches, and a lot of stuff that I've learned in this class has also helped me bring like more insight into practice. So when somebody on our team has an injury or something wrong, I can help them out a little bit and try to figure out what the problem is.
Another great thing about this program is even if they don't go off to college, once you turn 18, you can become a certified personal trainer. You can go teach fitness classes at the gym. So you can be career ready, go make some money right out of high school with the information and the education that you get in this sports medicine pathway. I got into teaching, it kind of just wouldn't let me go. I tried a whole bunch of different things. I kind of knew in the back of my mind that I wanted to be a teacher. My grandfather was a teacher and a principal. I have an aunt and uncle that are were both teachers and both married teachers. And so a lot of teaching in my family. And I tried a couple other careers because I wanted to make more money and be my own boss and do some cool things. And it just sucked me back in, and I love every second of it. We have one of our inspirational videos, and then we have an origin and insertion chart. Something I started a couple years ago that I do get positive feedback from towards the end of the year and after is I always start with a warm-up that involves some sort of inspirational video. I call them inspirational videos. The students make fun of me because oftentimes we're crying by the end of it. Sometimes they're very touching, but I still think that they're inspirational. A lot of SC featured stories, a lot of stories, maybe a story about a student with autism who's getting bullied and the football team rallies around them and really supports the student, and then the bullying stops. Things about professional athletes that are reaching out to people with terminal cancer, some of the Wish Foundation, Make-A-Wish Foundation, things like that. I just show a lot of those short 5 to 7 minute YouTube videos to start class. Just the students need to think beyond themselves. They need to realize that there's things going on around the world that are I think bigger than us. I think empathy is a huge thing for our students to realize and understand and create compassion in their lives. And that's kind of what I strive to do with these. Sometimes we discuss them, sometimes we just watch them and move on to our lessons. Sometimes I have them write a reflection. You know, we do touch on subjects like suicide, bullying, things like that, that these videos do an incredible job of introducing. That's really probably one of my favorite parts of the day.
I really like this class. This class is super fun. It's like really engaging, which I think is really easy because it's not just, you're not sitting there listening to Garrett speak. It's, you're doing things like this that, you know, helps most people memorize things just because you're like, okay, they can say, okay, I know this muscle because it's here, rather than, oh, this muscle in the book says it attaches here and here. And so it's just like, it's a really nice course because it's very hands-on and it's just fun.
I have an interest in medicine. Last year I took kinesiology, and the next class to take was sports medicine, and I was really interested in being an EMT, helping out people. So I thought sports medicine was a class that would work fine with me, and I enjoy it a lot.
And I think that both classes are really special to have at campus because I know that not all high schools have the opportunity to have these classes, but it really helped me realize what I want to do for a career. Now I'm going into college majoring in sports medicine next year, and it's just given me a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I didn't take this class.
For me, teaching, it's not a job, you know, it's a lifestyle. I love seeing my students. I love seeing them every day, finding out how their weekend went, finding out what they're going to do over spring break. When they come in sad, if you pay attention, you can tell when they come in sad and they're not themselves, and you can ask. And sometimes you get tears and you go outside and you get to play a little bit of a big brother or a parent role. That's the best part, is the relationship with the students.
For more than 20 years, the Santa Maria Valley Discovery Museum has been a place that fosters family and youth-inspired learning. With over 13,000 square foot facility and 25 student exhibits, local students have a wonderful opportunity to explore their world.
So the Santa Maria Valley Discovery Museum is the only children's museum in Santa Barbara County for the past 22 years. We started in a small storefront over just a few miles down the road, and then had a capital campaign to come into the old Coca-Cola warehouse where we are today. We have 13,000 square feet of Please Touch exhibits and programs that are designed to get kids to innovate and to create and to think outside of the box. We explore ourselves, our valley, our world, and beyond.
Today we came on a field trip to the Santa Maria Discovery Museum. A lot of my students never had the experience to come to a place like this before, so we were very excited. I really like this place because they're learning the social studies and science aspect of our standards, and they're exploring independently and with the other students, and everything is hands-on, which you can see in their faces that they're learning and they're enjoying themselves.
Oh, dinosaur bones. Look at them, touch them.
Oh, what is this from? A dinosaur? Cool.
For maybe his leg?
Field trips are a major component of what we offer at the Discovery Museum. We have over 4,000 kids that come through our doors every year for our field trips, and again, it's such an important opportunity for these kids who may not otherwise come to the museum. We have plenty of opportunities for free days throughout the year, but as far as coming with a field trip is a unique experience for a child that hopefully gets them thinking outside of their experience.
There's a under the sea zone where they learn about whales and dolphins. There's also a firefighter zone where they learn how to be a firefighter and have the real uniform. and a real hose to pretend and be a firefighter. I really love that this is here. It's very good for our community. They do a great thing for all the children who don't have experiences. Like a lot of these students have never been to the beach before, so if they can't make it to the beach, they can come here and experience ocean life.
So I'm standing in the middle of our Vandenberg launch experience with real live consoles from United Launch Alliance from their space launch centers. This was an incredible collaboration of folks from the 30th Space Wing out at Vandenberg Air Force Base, from United Launch Alliance, Honda of Santa Maria, which is one of our major sponsors. Fabulous group of STEM professionals that volunteered their time to bring this to life. It's a fantastic addition to the museum. Kids get to learn all about space science, about rockets and satellites, Mars, since we're going to Mars right now, and the Mars launch just happened at Vandenberg Air Force Base. We were hoping that the next generation of astronauts and rocket scientists actually start here, and from what they're learning at the Vandenberg launch experience.
What is this called? Do you know what this is called? A microscope. And this is a bone. This looks like a rock. Did you see the fossils? Look, it used to be a shell.
I can play there.
Okay, you gotta wait your turn, okay? Look at that. Do you see the shell? Look at your hand, too. Very cool. Are you gonna put it in a cup? You want one of these? What do you need to put in first? We gotta put some soil in, huh?
So this is our Discovery Planting Station. It's one of the many places in the museum where we're not talking about technology, we're talking about hands-on learning opportunities and planting, they're creating, they're doing all kinds of things with their hands. So we have this amazing collection of handmade wooden toys that were created by a retired engineer, and everything about them is has something to do with the building blocks of engineering and science and technology. They seem simple, but they're complicated, and they get kids thinking beyond technology. So our Maker Lab is an extension of our creation station. So we are taking art and science from scrap and allowing kids to think and innovate and create and do hands-on activities where they can be inventors. And this is the beginning of what became our makerspace. So our makerspace is such an exciting addition to our community. It's a place where kids and parents and people of all ages really can come and work with their hands, create, become innovators, and maybe the next engineers or maybe the next vocational community, which we desperately need here in Santa Maria Valley. We have 4 stations. Kids can do woodworking and learn about circuitry and electrical. They learn about robotics, and also we have a textile station where kids can make their own beanie and work with their hands to create clothing. So it's we have a little bit of everything. So with all of our fantastic new exhibits and existing exhibits, really the backbone of our offerings are our weekly education programs. So Tuesday is our Tuesday Tales program, which is a preschool reading program. Wednesday is our Preschool Patrol, which is like crafts and small motor sort of opportunities. Thursday is our Passport Thursday, so we're exploring other cultures and countries. And then later on in the day is our Brain Builder program, which is our sort of introduction to robotics and STEAM, the science, technology, engineering, and math. Friday is our Fit Friday program, so we get kids moving and talking about nutrition. Saturday is our Science Saturday program, which we do experiments and all kinds of science fun activities. And Sunday we kind of focus on the arts. So we focus on the arts every day here, but particularly on Sundays, usually have visiting artists and other opportunities for kids to learn about art. So every day something wonderful is happening. It's lots of new opportunities for families to come and visit the museum. the Discovery Reading Tree started as part of our program, our Tuesday Tales program, where we have read to kids every week. And we didn't have a great place to read. So what came out of this was this incredible tree house that was fabricated from Daniel's Woodland here in Paso Robles. And kids can grab a book and go up into a real life tree house, and or just imagine being a pirate or telling a story from one of the books that we have here, or from our puppet theater. So great imaginations being sparked in our Discovery Tree House. So Wilma the Whale is an interactive exhibit where kids can learn about whales and migration, and then also have it be able to slide down her tongue. So it's for all ages, particularly our little ones, and we love Wilma.
What are you guys looking at over here? What is that, Uridia?
A whale.
A whale? What are they doing? It's showing you how they're talking. They make noises. They're talking to each other, huh? Where do the whales live? They live in the ocean? Yeah? A dolphin. Can you say dolphin? Yeah. Look at that, Brody. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's a real dolphin really in the ocean under the water.
There's a camera in the water.
There's a camera under the water. Did you see it was eating a fish? They used to ride it a long time ago when they didn't have cars. And they used to sit underneath this part. A teepee. Yeah, look at their spot to look in it.
So our greatest challenge at the Discovery Museum is funding, of course. As a nonprofit organization, we've grown tremendously with our new exhibits and our programs. Our admissions are now 34,000 people a year, but we have still a tremendous gap in what it costs to run the museum with a frugal budget, and what we bring in through admissions and membership. Field trips and those sort of things. So that gap is $10,000 to $15,000 a month. So it's a tough nut to crack at times, but we have a very gracious and generous community. We have a grant program that helps sustain that gap in funding. But it's something we like to talk about because people need to know that we are keeping our costs as low as we possibly can. We are offering free community days to make sure we're accessible to every family in our community. But in order to do that, we need help. So we appreciate our sponsors and our foundation partners and all the folks in this community that make that possible.
One of the main things I hope that they get out of this is that when they grow up, they could be anything they want, and to be a good student and to learn and to come here, they could do anything they want. They could be a marine biologist, they can be a firefighter, they can be a scientist and look in insects, they can be a farmer and plant, just to see that there's so many options out there and that life is fun.
Well, we hope the kids just find learning to be fun. So we hope to be a facility where they can explore themselves and their world, their valley, and beyond. So if you wanted to arrange a field trip, you would call the Discovery Museum at 928-8414 or get on our website and book a field trip.
On behalf of the entire County Education Office, I want to thank you for joining us.